If women have been historically oppressed, where did the expression ladies first come from?
Cuz let the bitches go. You gotta let the ladies go first. The ladies, look at her. Like, look, why wouldn't you let her go first?
We real bad.
Oh my god, bro. He said, look at her. He said, look at her. She did a little, she said, I know. Stop it.
Bitches, you gotta let a real bad bitch go. Like, it came from men believing that women are so, like, I guess, dainty and fragile.
What kind of place is this?
That they put women first,
Dang.
because that comes from misogyny and the patriarchy as well.
What is patriarchy and
What? So being chivalrous is misogynistic.
why do so many women complain about it?
Patriarchy is outdated and non-existent.
Okay, would you agree, though, that it's defined as a system of society or government in which men hold the power and women are largely excluded from it?
Okay, yes, we're talking about like 1600s England.
All of the rules of our society were
Good
created
point.
by men. All of the positions of power are held by men, for the most part. And every aspect of how our society functions was decided by men.
I would say that the patriarchy is a system put in place that helps white men specifically, right,
Okay.
in putting them into positions of power so that they can continue taking care of the system instead of dismantling it. Because anyone who has a real opinion and goes into the system trying to fix it is silenced, and that's a fact.
Why do people believe
It's an evil world we live in.
Why do people believe patriarchy was built by men to serve men if men are victims of their own design?
That's an excellent question because guys sometimes don't think of it. There are sensitive men out there and they do get put down for it.
If we live in a patriarchy, why are men held more accountable than women?
Well, because, we're the forefront of things. We're always going to be the forefront of things when we go to war, when we, are the face in the public, presidency and all that when it comes to status, the highest level of status.
Is that a privilege or is that a responsibility?
I believe it's a responsibility.
Because we're men. We, like you said, we do. You said we designed everything. We do everything, so everything comes back on us. The blame.
Is that male privilege or is that male responsibility?
Male responsibility.
So why do so many people think we have male privilege when we actually have responsibilities that women don't?
Damn, I don't know. I'm finna go home and fucking think about it. Cause
Bro, I swear this dude's line of question is top tier, bro. Got this man thinking, bro. Every single person he questions, he has them thinking. And I'm telling you, bro, they'll be like, oh, wait a second. Hold up. Well, you right. Wait, hold up. Telling you, bro.
that's a
This man's
good
friends
ass
with it.
question.
If we live in such a patriarchal society, where did all these laws come from that protect women and punish men?
That's a good one too. That's a really good one too. Honestly, I feel like it would probably have boiled down from either men that have like more of a feminine mindset, not to be like offensive, or like just men that have, daughters and wives and just I don't know where to make that specifically, not for them, but like essentially for them, to not only protect their daughters and wives and stuff, but everybody's daughters and wives.
Okay.
Do you think that patriarchy is the cause of gender roles or is it the result of gender
No,
roles?
gender roles are natural because of physiology and biology.
Right. Men were the hunters and women were the gatherers, right?
Yeah, I think it's kind
Yeah, I mean, gender roles is starting to become like a whole thing. I believe that we do play a role because of our gender, and because of like, you feel me? We do play a role, okay? And no one's saying like let's just get it straight. No one is saying one role is less important than the other, though. But people have just gotten to the mindset that apparently that one role is like it was just shown as one role is more important than the other. So I mean,
kind of caused by, if you look at like the 1950s, the 60s American nuclear family, it was very definitive on what the gender roles of the man and the woman were, which I think has definitely contributed to the way we view a patriarchal society today and how we're trying to transgress from that.
Do you think patriarchy is the cause of gender roles, or is it the result of gender roles?
Result.
Historically, weren't men in the productive sphere while women were in the reproductive sphere?
Absolutely.
I feel like in that point in time, it was more so like, you know, ladies cook, ladies clean, ladies take care of the babies, while the man handles, you know, all the outside business, takes care of bringing in the income and all that fun stuff. So I feel like that's where that kind of originated from.
Isn't patriarchy just the natural evolution of men and women just giving into their expected roles?
No, because not every woman is reproducing. Not every woman wants to be a woman. Not every woman wants to have kids. So if you're putting women in this position where it's only put to reproduce, then you're silencing every other voice that we have. We're not only here to reproduce, and men aren't here to be laborers. So when you put it in that way, what are you saying? We're just here to pop out babies?
Well, did I ever say all women are all men? I'm just general.
Dang, she getting feisty. She getting feisty. Calm down. It's just a question. She's asking questions. Are you trying to say I'm a baby maker and that's it? She getting feisty. She kind of bad. I'm not gonna lie, bro.
Well, did I ever say all women are all men? I'm just generalizing and saying...
Yeah, you're generalizing, and that's an issue.
You know, I'd argue that women were involved.
Come on, bro. When we talk about this whole generalization thing, we speak in a broad term, right? We're not embedded or ingrained in everyone's daily life, so we speak on a broad term. And how do you speak on a broad term? Looking at statistics and facts and data. So when you do present a situation like that, that's when you start to go to, okay, well, men are predominantly in this and women are predominantly in that, shows it here, right? That's when you generalize and talk about stuff like that. You know what I mean? So when talk about gender roles and, you know, it fell into that, right? Back then, that's what it was like. That's what it was like. The men were the workers and the women were the caretakers of the household. And there's nothing wrong with that. They both played vital roles, because guess what? Guess what they've done now, right? They've taken they've taken both the man and the woman out of the household. So if they have children, who are the children being watched or raised by? The schools. And what's the school? Society. And what's society teaching our children nowadays? So it's just like, that's a little game they're playing. It's just a little game they're playing.
Involved in some critical inventions. Radiation.
Can you name 5 famous female inventors? I'll give you one, Madame Curie.
That's the one I was thinking of. That's cheating. 5 famous female inventors. You know, I think it is a bit of a numbers game. There aren't as many famous female inventors, historians, mathematicians, any in those powerful roles historically as there were men.
That is correct. In fact, until up until the 70s, until the feminist movement.
So isn't patriarchy just the natural evolution of men and women just giving into their expected roles?
Of course.
So why is patriarchy seen as such a bad thing when women always expected men to provide?
Because they're the devil.
Isn't the idea of patriarchy oppressing women based on a false premise?
Of course.
Isn't the idea of patriarchy oppressing women based on a false premise?
In today's day and age, absolutely.
Yeah.
Okay.
Women's suffrage was 100 years ago.
Okay. When men were in charge, didn't they still make laws to protect women?
Yes.
If we lived in a matriarchy, would women make laws to protect men?
I mean, they should.
Okay.
That's a good question. That's a good question. If we lived in a matriarchy, I like that. So if we lived in a woman patriarchy, right? Would women would women put in place laws to protect men. Nowadays, probably not, bro. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. I ain't got no hope there for that. I'm gonna be honest with you, bro. Probably not. I don't know. Yeah.
It's an evil world we live in.
Why aren't feminists fighting for those laws right now?
Because feminists are a fucking loud minority.
If women have been historically oppressed, where did the expression ladies first come from?
That's a good question. I would say, honestly, I don't know.
The women were the softer and fairer sex. So they treated women softer and fairer. They weren't, their place wasn't, they didn't need to be doing anything professionally because that wasn't, they were too soft for that. They were needed to be cared for. So that was where the whole idea, the current idea of like chivalry, of, you know, opening the doors, which I actually do support because it shows respect for women.
It was always like,
But it wasn't because they were too soft. It was just like, I don't think so. It's just one of those natural things of men naturally feel a need to protect women. It was just one of those natural things. But that natural need has now become like, how dare you view me in that light, right? It's become more so like I'm not weak. How dare you label me as weak? I'm not weak type thing. So it's kind of been like, they kind of like flipped the script on us and said, you viewed me as weak, so this is my payback for it type thing. But it's starting to, we try to integrate chivalry in there, we try to slide it in there, and it's just like, well, y'all don't want it anymore because it's viewed as weak. We treat you like, why am I opening the door for you, right? No one wants to be chivalrous anymore because it's 2022. Come on now. Nobody wants to be chivalrous no more. We all equal, right? Open your own door. But when it comes to stuff like that, people start getting upset about it. So it's just like,
oh, you need to find you a man that does this, and this. But it was never, like, people weren't teaching their sons, like, oh, well, you need to have a wife that does this, and this. Make sure you have a girl that does this, and this. It was always, being more focused on girls finding the, the most perfect man, the most chivalrous man, the man that's going to do all this stuff for you.
She hit the nail right on the head, bro. Women are not taught how to treat men, but men are taught how to treat women.
Sometimes I wish you knew.
She hit the nail right on the head, bro. Women are not taught how to treat men. Women are not brought up nowadays how to cook, how to clean. They're just brought up and raised to be princesses, and then everyone's gonna take care of you, so don't worry about it. And it's just like, that's not how the real world works. You gotta get out there and get dirty and get grimy. Nowadays, shoot, back then you didn't have to get out there and get dirty and grimy. You just have to go get out there and find you a man who would take care of you.
For you, but I feel like it really shouldn't be about, finding somebody that provides all this stuff for you. It really should be about finding somebody that you guys can really make shit happen together and just elevate together. It shouldn't be about like, oh, well, I provided this and you don't have to provide anything. No.
How can a society that
Exactly. It should be a tandem of things together. We should be like this. I shouldn't be doing everything, and while you just sit there and do nothing, right? It should be a combination of both. We should both bring things to the table, right? And it's just one of those things where females are just like, well, I am the table. That's what I'm like. I feel like feminism, for me personally, I feel like feminism nowadays has kind of pushed this ideology of self-worship. And it's just like, you stand over there with that. Females walk around with a very inflated head and a very inflated ego, and it's now become more so about self-worship than it has become more so about self-development, accountability for one's actions. It's a whole plethora of things that people need to constantly improve on, but it's more so become a different agenda now. So yeah, no, feminism for me is more so self-worship than it is awareness or anything of that sort that's trying to push positivity.
it always places women first be called the patriarchy?
It's a paradox.
Would you consider chivalry to be a female privilege?
Of course.
If we're placing women first all the time, I don't think it would be called a patriarchy, because that doesn't even make sense.
Would you consider chivalry to be a female privilege?
Yes.
Yeah,
Chivalry to be a female privilege. I would.
Why?
I would, because I feel like chivalry sometimes has to be deserved. Because I don't feel like, not to like talk trash about anybody, but I feel like chivalry is definitely something that should be deserved, something that should be earned.
It's not, but chivalry is not about that. It's not about being earned. It's simply like from one stranger to the next. If you're a female and I see her walking into the same building, I'm gonna speed up a little quicker and open the door for you. That's chivalry, right? I don't know you, but I'm still opening the door for you because you're a lady. That's simply it. Because you're a woman, I'm opening the door for you. And I'm trying to be grateful and generous to you because you're a woman. It's the natural like feeling of I'm trying to protect. I have a natural feeling of I want to protect women, right? Make them feel secure. So it's just that natural feeling. So yeah, no, this man has a lot. I mean a lot of valid questions, bro. And I love his videos. I'm gonna do a lot more reactions on them. Don't mind the blanket. But yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and end that video right there. I was 8 minutes into it, but the video's become a little bit longer, so I want to go ahead and end it right there. I'll leave the rest of the video in the description below. God dang, I'll become better at the ending, bro. Don't worry about it. I'll leave the video in the link in the description below, so you guys can go watch the rest of it for yourselves. This dude's channel is amazing. I highly recommend you subscribe to him. He goes around on the Las Vegas Strip and just asks a lot of valid questions to people. I think it's very helpful. See where people's mindset is as individuals, especially for a lot of females too. So yeah, if you guys enjoyed, please do like, comment, and subscribe. I really would appreciate it if you guys took the time to do so. I'm gonna continue to keep trying to make content on a consistent basis to stay in there, hanging there with me. I'm trying to become better at this whole thing. You see me? But yeah, like I said before, if you guys enjoyed the video, like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I hope you guys have a beautiful, wonderful rest of your day. Peace.
Through drought and famine, natural disasters, my baby has been